This is Abe Freetanzer from Awards Watch, and I'm thrilled to be speaking with Tobias Menzies today about The Crown. How are you today?
I'm really good. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Congratulations on your first Emmy nomination.
Thank you very much. Yeah. It's really surprising and really nice.
So you were considered a lead actor in season 3, but then you're supporting for season 4. Did that feel like a demotion, or it's just that the story is moving to different characters?
I mean, it's hard to defend myself against the accusation of demotion because yes, but I guess it does reflect, a slightly different season, that he was, just more kind of in the ensemble than, I mean, and probably that's down to maybe, a dedicated episode in season 3, episode 7, which I guess, but yeah, maybe that means, I mean, I don't think it means that you have more of a chance, really, because I mean, the supporting actor categories always seem absolutely jammed with amazing people. So it's just very nice to be, mentioned in these lists. Very, very, very gratifying.
And your Emmy episode submission is the season 4 premiere Gold Stick, which is a really fantastic showcase of, Philip's relationship with Charles. How do you feel about that episode, and what stands out, about it, and working with Josh O'Connor in particular?
Yes, Josh is, a fabulous actor and someone I really admired, and watching him work in the show. But it's actually someone that I got to do very little with in the show because, Charles and Philip are kind of ships in the night, highly intentional, because I think it's quite an eloquent articulation of what Peter is sort of saying about that relationship. But in episode 1 of season 4, Peter gives us a kind of head-to-head after the immediate aftermath of Mountbatten's death. It's one of my favorite scenes from it because there's a lot in it. I think it's interesting to sort of dig into that relationship because obviously it's been really articulated by absence until then, and then we see them kind of interact. And what's interesting is that Philip is really falls short of being the father he needs to be in that moment. It's almost like a role reversal. Charles ends up playing the parent to Philip's kind of slightly irrational, slightly wounded response to being overlooked for the speaking at his Mountbatten's funeral. So, but yes, it was very, very. It was just really good to sort of go head to head with Josh and have something meaty to dig into. And I do always like the show when it gets into those family episodes. A father talking to a son, really about like how he feels about being a father and how he feels about being like a quasi son to Mountbatten. And I think that's often the strongest stuff in the show, is that stuff played out against, the tapestry of this very arcane institution.
And I agree with that, but I do think that my favorite showcase of Philip on this show is the season 3 episode Moondust, which has nothing to do with his family. It's about his own personal interest in something that he feels that he missed out from. And so much of that episode was just so fun and so interesting in a different way in terms of the astronauts. What can you share about memories of making that episode?
I mean, I'm glad you bring it up because yes, any Emmy voters watching, if you feel like going back and watching that one, I'm not allowed to submit that one, but I'm hugely proud of that episode. Obviously, the show takes an episode to look in more detail at where Philip is at as he enters middle age, and Peter, again, as Peter can do so, it's his brilliance, I think, to juxtapose that with the moon landings. And so we suddenly, we see Philip go down this sort of irrational path of kind of attachment to these men who are going to the moon, and somehow feeling like he could have been them, that he, if his life had taken a different course, if he wasn't, the man that he is, and alongside that, obviously, the whole theme of faith and his relationship with Dean Woods. And I think we got it to just a really interesting place, because those themes are big themes, and it definitely, it's not necessarily straightforward to kind of weave those together and land them, because they're big. They're about space, they're about faith, they're about that very universal feeling of people who arrive at sort of halfway through their life, and they look back and go, what have I done, and what am I doing, and what, am I happy with the decisions I've made? And Philip finds that the answers are not entirely straightforward. So and I made it, directed by Jess Hobbs, who's I really built a really great relationship with her. So it was a really kind of real blessing that she got to make that episode with me. And so it was it was happy days.
That's great. And of course, the real Prince Philip died shortly after this season was released. Do you feel that you've contributed to his legacy with your performance, or do people conflate, your character and the real person?
I don't think I've added to his legacy. No, I mean, his life is long and multifarious, and has so many layers and different aspects to it. That's certainly one of the things I've learned doing the show, as I sort of learned about this man. So yes, I don't think, we do our best to bring as much as we can to the screen, but no, I don't think our show can get close to the sort of the true complexity of who he was. And he certainly wouldn't want our show to be the last word on his life. But yes, it was, I suppose, just an interesting and unusual cultural moment to be the actor who had most recently been playing him on such a widely watched show at the time that he passed away. But I think it's an anomaly only. I can take very little credit for it. So.
And of course, you will not be continuing in this role, but Jonathan Pryce is coming on to take over, which is really incredible. How do you feel? Do you have a relationship with Jonathan, and have you spoken just about this role with him?
I don't know Jonathan, and no, and I haven't spoken to him. But I think it's great casting, and I'm really excited to see what he does with it. I'm sort of glad he hasn't called me, because I wouldn't know. I certainly wouldn't want. I don't think I'm in a position to give an Oscar-nominated Knight of the Realm, in fact, any advice on how to do it. I'm sure he'll be brilliant.
And did you at any point speak to Matt Smith or watch his performance before coming on the show?
I did speak to him, but not really about the part, actually. It was more just about the sort of job and what it was like. Because I do know him a little bit. We did a play years ago when he was just starting out. So, but I did watch what he did plenty. It was such a useful resource, the 2 seasons that they made, and I loved what he did with it. And so I often, both before filming, starting working on it, and also during, sometimes I would go back and sort of remind myself, there were certain episodes that I really enjoyed going back to. So partly because I think, I don't know how, I certainly was in conversation with both footage of the real person, but also trying to feather in a little bit and nick a few ideas from what Matt had done.
Another moment that I enjoyed from this season was when Philip was very honest about being able to pick favorites from his children, while Elizabeth wasn't so much about that. And you're lucky in a way with the Emmys, because you're the only actor from your show nominated in your category, but your female co-stars, that's not the case, and they're nominated against each other. Do you think,
true. Yes.
I don't want to ask you to pick, but do you think that voters will be able to pick between them, because there's just so much great female talent on this show?
Yeah, it's a tough call, isn't it? And I think that, I guess there's definitely a possibility that having more than one performance from the same series can sort of split the vote a bit. But I hope not, but to be honest, they're all worthy in lots of different ways. I think, but mainly I think we're all just very excited to have had so much recognition for this season, to just be sustaining it, to be getting sort of, plus 20 nominations in our fourth season feels like a huge achievement.
Yeah. And you mentioned the high caliber of the supporting Emmy categories before. Do you watch any of the shows that your fellow nominees are on, from The Handmaid's Tale, This Is Us, Perry Mason, any of those?
I have to admit, I have some catching up to do. So watch this space.
And I know you have lots of fans from your Outlander days. How do you look back on that show now?
Oh, so with so much love, yeah. It was a huge part of my life and my journey as an actor, actually. Going up to Scotland, we were, none of us, it was a bit of a punt, really, to make that show. No one really cared that we were making it. And yeah, we've, I think they've just finished season 6. It's an incredible achievement that we've built something that has lasted so long. And yeah, so all of them are, remain friends and, are definitely a part of my, a huge part, deep in my heart, because I think particularly when you're, I don't know, there are particular phases in your career when the timing is right and you just sort of commit to something. And that was, that show was definitely one of them, because I think we all needed to. No one really knew how it would turn out. And so both, the Ron Moore and the team who were making it needed us as a group of actors to sort of really come together, and that sort of level of collaboration, doesn't always happen.
And I spoke with another Emmy nominee this year, Sophie Okonedo, who mentioned that you're in an episode with her of Modern Love. What can you share about the experience of making that episode?
Had such a great time. Went to Ireland earlier in the year. Ireland, Dublin was locked down, but Sophie and I, we had these sort of 2 or 3 weeks there. I had not met or worked with her before, but she's such a beautiful human being and an extraordinary actor. So it was one of those moments when you feel very lucky to be doing what you're doing, because got together with John Carney and his brother Kieran, who had written the episode. And it's I think we made something good. It's sweet and sort of romantic, but I think has real kind of character in it. And so it was a lot of fun to work opposite her.
And what else do you have coming up?
I think Modern Love coming out might be everything from the cupboard, I think, because This Way Up has come out now. So I need to get a job. So all the more reason to be plugging myself on Emmy Awards shows like yours.
What kind of project would you like to do next? Any genres you haven't tried yet?
Good question. I've been saying for years, I've always wanted to play a cowboy. I think I've got like a sort of cowboy walk. That's good to go, ready, oven ready, as they say. But for me, it's always really, I never quite know how to answer this question, because it's very dependent on who's making it and the words on the page, and you sort of know it when you see it. So actually, I think in a way, I don't even mind if it's film or TV or even theatre. It's about like, what's it saying, and how are we saying it?
Great. Well, I wish you plenty of luck at the Emmys this year, and look forward to seeing your performance as a cowboy sometime in the near future.
It's great to talk to you. Thanks so much, Ed.